I'm Andrew Levine, the head of communications for Steemit, and this is an excerpt from an interview I conducted recently with Mabod Mogden, one of the co-founders of RapGenius and Everipedia. In the full interview, we talk about everything decentralized entrepreneurship and marketing. So for that full interview, follow the link below.
I'm always debating in my head of who's more important, the marketing faker guy like me or the engineers. And obviously,
The
normally,
marketing guy, man. Just
obviously,
kidding.
I think the engineers are more important just because
They
they're
are.
fewer and they have to do a lot harder work. But on the flip side, if I can play devil's advocate, what the engineers are building to some extent always becomes fungible. Only community actually matters. For example, if Google buys Steemit, they'll figure out the node thing. They'll throw hundreds of engineers at it and they'll figure out any technical difficulties. What matters is that you have, it's not huge, but you have like this substantial psycho community. Like I'm saying, it's like insane religious cult community of Steemit. And that's what's valuable on the internet. That's the whole thing. Anything else, the engineering stuff, you can always catch up. That's why, I'm part of the EOS family, and the EOS was built because they thought that Bitcoin, the software, is not going to be able to catch up. But then when I see stuff like Twitter flirting with decentralizing on Bitcoin, it kind of turns me into a Bitcoin maximalist again, because I don't really know how the technology works, but I can't imagine that we can't just fix Bitcoin and just make it like EOS. It's all zeros and ones anyways, right? So
Well, we kind of view ourselves, and I am a big believer in Bitcoin, but the way I think our team kind of looks at ourselves is much more in the vein of Bitcoin, because the whole idea behind Bitcoin was there's all kinds of things you can do with the decentralized ledger, and smart contracts weren't really a thing. The idea was you can store all kinds of stuff on this ledger and then it's there for everybody to validate. And what we did with Steem was we said, well, what if we integrate delegated proof of stake and make it a freemium blockchain, not allow smart contracts so that there's only this fixed level of computation. We can have free transactions. And now you've basically got that open and decentralized ledger that anybody can use, except it's way faster and way lower cost than Bitcoin. So I totally agree with you. And I feel like we're really striving to do that through a different route than most people. I think there's going to be a place to play for everybody, but we're very much not about smart contracts. We're just about this decentralized ledger. But there were a couple of things you said that I really wanted to get back to. The first is that, especially in a tech company, absolutely the engineers are the most important people. I was just talking to our head of engineering today, and I just had to reassure him, I'm in this type of organization, I'm here to support you. This doesn't work without the engineers. But the other great point that you made is that without the community, the engineers aren't making anything that matters. Without users to use the product, you're just spinning wheels. And so I view my role within this ecosystem as trying to connect the community with the engineers and making sure that the engineers are solving the problems that the community want them to solve. And it's just about facilitating communications between the two groups, because like you said, those are the two most important groups in the space.
yeah, a good engineer definitely doesn't just build whatever they want to build. It's all about iteration and listening to what the users need. There can definitely be a healthy symbiosis, but overall, I think culturally, in pop culture, a lot of people still think hey, I've got a startup idea. I got to go pay someone to build this for me. And it's like, no, I think it's much better for a marketing person to find an idea that an engineer is already building that they like and try to help out.
Thanks so much for watching my interview with Mabod. But if you've got one more second, I'd love to tell you about Steemit.com's new paid advertising program. Steemit.com is the central hub for all things blockchain and cryptocurrency, which is why it gets 18 million unique page views a month. Best of all, it's entirely open source, so advertising not only benefits your bottom line, but it also helps us continue to release free software that's empowering people all over the world by monetizing their content through blockchain technology. That's why, unlike any other advertising platform, our users actually support our paid advertising program. To learn more about advertising on Steemit.com, email advertising@steemit.com.